That we have got our first look at the Marvel Cross MTG Secret Lair cards. Today in this video I'm super excited to share with you my thoughts on these Secret Lairs. We're going to be going through the cards just like we do on the Commander breakdowns, looking at the art and just looking at each individual Secret Lair, and I'm going to give you my opinion on them. Do I think it's worth buying? Do I think these cards are a hit and run from a flavor standpoint? Who knows? Let's get into these cards and we can have a little look. Right guys, let's get into our first Secret Lair, the Black Panther Secret Lair. So, what do we get in the Black Panther Secret Lair? First things first, let's have a look at Black Panther Wakandan King. Black Panther is a green and a white 2-cost card, so nice and easy, cheap commander. You can get this guy out straight away. He's a legendary creature, human noble hero, so 3 creature types here. But he has first strike, so he is very quick with it. So the more you buff Black Panther, the more benefit you're going to get off this first strike, so that's nice. Survey the realm. Whenever Black Panther or another creature you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on target land you control. Okay, now obviously this seems a bit weird until you've read the rest of the cards. We're just going to keep going. Mine Vibranium. You pay 3 colorless to move all 1/1 counters from target land you control onto target creature. If 1 or more 1/1 counters are moved this way, you gain that much life and draw a card. So we've got 1/1 counter synergy, we've got life gain synergy, and a bit of card draw. We've got it all with Black Panther. He's looking like a really cool card. Black Panther's going to care about creatures entering the battlefield, so lots of cheap tokens, shall we say. The more we get that, the more triggers we're going to get off Black Panther to load up all these counters on our lands, and then we can mine the Vibranium by moving those counters onto our creatures to get some benefits. Now, flavor standpoint for this card, I like the whole idea of our lands become valuable resources by putting these counters on them, the counters symbolizing the Vibranium, and then we are mining that Vibranium by moving the counters from our land onto our creatures. Very nice. And not only are they getting more powerful from the Vibranium, but we're gaining knowledge in the form of card draw, and maybe you could say healthcare from the life gain. He's a 2/2. Nothing much else to say about Black Panther from a card standpoint. Looking at the art itself, I really like it. He's holding, I'm gonna guess this is a Vibranium in a bottle, and we've got the bald-headed demons.
You bald-headed demon.
Right, moving on to what other cards do we get in the Black Panther Secret Lair. So first card here we'll look at is Secure the Wastes. Now, create X white warrior creature tokens, X 1/1 white creature tokens. So the more mana you pay, the more tokens you get. Obviously, this card is incredible with Black Panther because the more mana you pay, you're going to suddenly sprout 5 warrior creature tokens. And if you don't know, we get a Wakandan warrior creature token with this Secret Lair, so very nice. So you can use those with this card. You're going to get out loads of Wakandan warriors, and then each one of those hitting the battlefield is going to trigger Black Panther's ability. Simple card. In terms of value, this card is not a valuable one. It is, you know, cheap as chips. You can get this for like 10p or cents or whatever the American version of it is. The art depicts the first Black Panther, and we know this because it says in the flavor text, Bashenga was the first Black Panther, wise and fearless. He closed the great mound and formed a militia that would guard against all intruders. Very nice. So not all of these are going to be expensive cards, but there are some expensive cards in here. Okay, so talking expensive cards, the next one we have got is Bast's Blessing. This has been renamed from Primal Vigor. So Primal Vigor was the original name of the card. Bast's Blessing is the new one. Bast is the Panther god that guided the original Black Panther to the magical plant that gave them superpowers like superhuman strength, speed, and instincts and all that shit. The art is amazing. It's stunning. I mean, look at that. It's so cool. You can see these panthers on the sides, the panther in the background, and then Black Panther in his suit and his glowing green eyes. I bet this is going to look incredible in that rainbow foil. This is a 5-cost enchantment. If 1 or more tokens would be created, twice that many tokens are created instead. If 1 or more 1/1 counters will be put on a creature, twice that many 1/1 counters are put on that creature instead. So it is just doubling all the things we are trying to do. Obviously, this is going to be a really, really good card, okay? More warrior tokens, more 1/1 counters, all that good stuff. It's just good. Flavor text with Bass Strength. I will defend this land. Very nice. In terms of value, I do have the cards value. So it's about £3.50 wise for $5. So it's, you know, it's not the most expensive, but it's, yeah, it's okay. And next one, Heroic Intervention. We all know this card, and if we don't, this is a staple green card. Just a really, really nice green protection spell. Opponents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until the end of the turn. Instant spell. Fantastic. Drop this on a board wipe, you're fine. Everyone else's shit dies. It's all a good time. The art, very, very cool here. Black Panther, he's glowing purple, and he is kicking. This is Claw. So Claw was in the Avengers, one of the Age of Ultron movie, and he was also in the Black Panther movies. I don't think he was in the second one. He looks very different here. This is like the comic book. You got to remember, all of these are comic book based, not movie based. But yeah, this is what he looks like in the comic book, and he's got like some like sonic weapon. It looks there. We know this is Claw because it says literally in the flavor text, "You will take nothing, Claw. Your plunder of Wakanda ends here." And that is from T'Challa, the Black Panther. So this here is actually T'Challa. Okay, next card we're looking at is Wakandan Skyscraper. This is a rename of Khan's Bastion. This is a land card that is just perfect for any counter-based deck, okay? You can tap it for a colorless mana, or you can tap it and pay 4 mana to proliferate. Now, if you don't know what proliferate means, it means you get an additional counter on anything that has a counter. So these aren't even just 1/1 counters, okay? These can be even like stuff like toxic counters and stuff like that. Any counter-based deck, this is going to be really, really nice for, okay? It's always nice to have this sort of ability on a land. Yeah, art-wise, this is stunning. We can see the Wakandan Skyscraper here. And you can see all of the like Wakandan city skyline in the background. It's very, very cool. We like this card. Wakanda's towering, I can't say that word, is manifest across Burning Zana's skyline. We like it. It's cool. It goes with the deck. Yeah, it's nice. Most of the value of the Secret Lair is coming out of these single cards here, because obviously these are Secret Lairs. They're limited stock. Once they're gone, they're gone. They probably will be reprinted, but not in this art, okay? They'll be like in universe stuff. So the actual Black Panther Wakandan King, this is going to be the only way to get this card. Very, very exclusive. That's where all the value is coming from. And as the stock disappears, their price will rise, okay? But yeah, the most expensive card other than that you're getting is Heroic Intervention, which, yeah, is not the most expensive card. It's nice. Overall, this is not the best value of the Secret Lairs, but I would not get too caught up on the actual value of the Secret Lair. The cards themselves are good. They are gonna work perfectly with the Black Panther deck if you want to make a deck around Black Panther. So, you know, the arts of these cards are stunning. You know, yeah. I think this is just, yeah, it's nice. I like this Secret Lair, and you're going to get that vibe from a lot of these. I think these are great Secret Lairs. Yes, they are expensive, which we'll talk to in a minute, but yeah, I like this. Yeah, not much else to say. So let's move on to the next Secret Lair. Okay, the next Secret Lair we're going to be talking about is Captain America, the Lord of Cringe. Now, sorry for all you Captain America fans out there. I'm not the biggest Captain America fan, so, you know, but if you are a Captain America fan, then I think these are I think these cards are still well done. So, for the record, yeah. Anyway, Captain America, First Avenger, red, white, and blue. Of course, he has the American colors, and they've even adjusted the order so that it's red, white, blue in order, the American colors. So, nice little touch there. Do I agree with the color identity? No. I don't understand why he's blue or red. This guy is clearly... Captain America is the definition of a mono white character in my eyes. Like, when I was coming up with ideas of what I think each individual superhero would be, like what color identity they would be, I had on my list Captain America as mono white. Never did I dream of him being red or blue. So it's free cost, again, nice and cheap. Legendary creature, human, soldier, hero. His ability is in two parts, throw and catch. So throw, pay 3 mana, unattach an equipment card from Captain America, and then he deals damage equal to that equipment's mana value divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 targets. Catch, at the beginning of combat on your turn, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to Captain America. So you detach the equipment to fling it, so you're not actually discarding it, sacrificing it, it's still there, you're just unequipping it. It deals the damage, and then as soon as you start your combat, you attach a different one. So pre-combat, you throw it, and then in combat, you get it back, and then you fight. So it's very flavorful. I love how this is done. I think it's fantastic. Very, very nice. As I said, even though I'm not a fan of Captain America, I think this card is done very well. Cards that come with Captain America. Captain America's Aid, which is Sagada's Aid renamed. On this card, you can see Falcon as Captain America. So that's cool. It's an enchantment card. You may cast aura and equipment spells as though they had flash. Again, this Captain America deck is going to have lots of equipments because his whole thing is throw-in equipment. Having them have flash is just nice. And then whenever equipment you control enters, you may attach to a target creature you control. So all of your equipments have a free equipment cost when you first play them. So it's a 1-cost enchantment. Absolute no-brainer, this card. In terms of the value of Sagada's Aid, £5. £5, $6, $7, $8. All who wields the shield share a dream of creating the kind of world we all deserve to live in. From a flavor standpoint, so it's depicting Captain America passing his shield onto the Falcon. Okay, next card. Flawless Maneuver. This is a lovely commander free spell. If you control a commander, you may cast this spell without paying its mana cost. Already, that is good. Creatures you control gain indestructible until the end of the turn. The flavor text, you go, I'll shield you. Yeah, I think you have Black Widow and Falcon in the background. Card looks cool. He's deflecting this powerful beam. This is just a great card. Very, very powerful white protection spell. No doubt this card is valuable. I do have it in my notes. Oh, £8 card. Okay, so it's not, again, it's basically the same as Heroic Intervention. It doesn't stop you, it's getting targeted by spells, but it stops them being destroyed. Nice card. Not in terms, it doesn't, like, from a mechanic standpoint, it doesn't completely synergize with Captain America. It's nothing to do with equipment. However, it's Captain America. He's the fucking hero of a shield. We needed a protection spell, so great to have him. We had one in the Black Panther one as well, so it's good to see one here in the Captain America one. So it's good. Next card is In the Trenches. One colorless, 2 white. This is not a rename. This is just straight up. This is what the card is. This, I've already looked as well, is a 10p card. This is not a valuable card, okay? So I'm just getting that out there right now. But it's not bad. So in the art, we have Captain America. We have, apparently this is Bucky. Looks nothing like the Winter Soldier. Well, apparently it is Bucky. This looks like World War II, though. We got, it looks like Human Torch, Namor, Bucky, and then I can't remember who the other guy is. I don't think he's in the films. The card itself, creatures you control get +1/+1, and you can pay 6 mana to exile a target non-land permanent you control until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. So it's a removal spell as well as a creature buff enchantment. Again, doesn't really fully synergize with Captain America's card, but it buffs everyone. And also, like, because Captain America is like this leader figure, it makes sense that he has a card that buffs all your cards. So I think from that point, it's a flavor home run. The removal spell is just, it's nice. I guess we can't just have like all equipments because he only actually has one, the shield, right? And speaking of the shield, boom, my favorite one, Shield of War and Peace. This is a rename of Sword of War and Peace. Beautiful arc. We can see glistening Captain America's shield. It looks stunning. It looks powerful, heroic. Artifact equipment. Free cost card. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from red and from white. So the war colors. Okay, nice. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, this equipment deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand, and you gain 1 life for each card in your hand. This gets basically stronger the more advantageous position your opponent is in. So it's kind of like, it's better the bigger the villain, and you get more benefit for how much cards you have in your hand, which is like a symbolism in Magic as like knowledge. It's a little bit thingy from the flavor standpoint. I think it is nice that it, you know, it gives you protection from red and white because it's literally, those are the war colors. I think that's quite cool that it gives you protection from them. I would like to see a Captain America shield that is designed specifically from like a new card and see what they could do with it. Well, first things first, they would make it indestructible, right? Like just like they did with the One Ring. That's like kind of missed opportunity. Like I just feel like it could be more of a unique card, but I understand they needed to include it. I don't know off the top of my head what card would be better. If you know what card would be better for the shield, then yeah, leave it in the comments below what you think. But I can't really think of one on the top of my head. So I'm not saying this is a bad one, but you know, from a flavor standpoint, I guess it's, you know, it gives protection. It gives protection. So that has to be in there, which is nice. In terms of the second bit, I don't really know. But yeah, I still like the card. It's a bit unfortunate that it's only 3 costs, because it means Captain America only deals 3 damage when he flings his shield. So, you know, it's actually not going to be the best equipment to throw with Captain America, which again feels a little bit off on a flavor standpoint, but I'm not going to sit too much on this hill. That's it for the Captain America Secret Lair. Very, very cool. Right. Let's move on to one of my favorites, the Secret Lair Iron Man. So first things first, let's look at the Iron Man card. Iron Man, Titan of Innovation. 3 colorless, 1 blue, 1 red. So currently he is the most expensive commander we've had so far. And blue-red, perfect for Iron Man. When I was writing these out, blue-red was my guess for Iron Man. And yeah, I'm glad we got the home run there, because Iron Man is perfect for blue-red. You know, we know he's got the knowledge side of him, but he's got the red, like, aggression. He's got the red, like, he's very arrogant. He's very, you know, he does what he wants. He's definitely got that red kind of freedom, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want vibe about him. Blue-red to the T. Great. He is a legendary artifact creature, human hero. Now, it's been said that this card should have been an artificer, and I am down to agree. Why is Iron Man not an artificer? He's literally an inventor of war machines. You know, he should be an artificer. I don't see a reason why he's not an artificer. To be honest, that kind of annoys me. He has flying and haste. Okay, so he flies. Great. Flavor home run. Very cool. Haste, again, he is quite hasty. So, home run on the keywords. Genius Industrialist. Whenever Iron Man attacks, create a treasure token, then you may sacrifice a non-creature artifact. If you do, search your library for an artifact card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice artifact's mana value. Put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. That sounds very, very wordy. Basically, what this guy is doing is upgrading your artifacts, right? Because you sack 1 and you get 1 that's 1 more in terms of mana value. So it's 1 more expensive, basically. From a flavor standpoint, I love it. I think this is great. It's whenever he attacks and he has flying, so we don't have to worry really if he's attacking and getting blocked and killed, because it's going to be quite hard. He's got that evasive technique to him. Creates a treasure token when he attacks, so he's giving you the manas. And we know the treasure token here comes with an Iron Man helmet, so very, very cool. You know, the more mana is allowing you to create, invent more stuff. Flavor, good. We love that. Yeah, all in all, it's great. It's very, very cool. And the whole shooter aspect is nice of Iron Man, because he's hand picking what he wants. And that is just, yeah, that's so perfect for, you know, Iron Man. You're adapting to the situation by, I'm going to invent something to deal with this situation kind of thing. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm going to be getting this Iron Man one. Okay, right. Not much else to say about Iron Man. He's a 4/4 as well, so he's respectable in terms of power. He is expensive, which is a shame. So, you know, if he's going to get killed once, he's going to cost like 7 mana, which is, yeah, that hurts. But, you know, other than that, I think he is very cool. Okay, let's move on to the cards that will be coming with Iron Man. First things first, Galvanic Blast. Love the art on Galvanic Blast. We see the Iron Legion and Iron Man. And this card, I literally hear it. I hear this card. I can hear the sound of his little beams. Love it. Deals 2 damage to any target. Metalcraft Galvanic Blast deals 4 damage instead if you control 3 or more artifacts. Artifact synergy works. We're going to have lots of artifacts in this deck, so it's perfect. It's a 1 mana, essentially 4 damage spell. It can be a burn spell, removal spell. I like it. It's not the best card, but it's definitely nice, and I would 100% run it in the Iron Man deck. In terms of value, this card, £3. Okay, bit more than I thought it would be. £3, so $4 or $5. Okay. The flavor text: all units set repulsors to maximum power. Love it. That didn't sound like Iron Man at all. Okay, so this next card is the big one, Commander's Plate. Now, straight up value-wise, this is a £30, $35, whatever you want to say. card. Okay, this is an expensive boy. This is a 1 cost artifact. Equipped creature gets +3/+3 and has protection from each color that is not in your commander's color identity. Cost 3 to equip to your commander or 5 to equip it to someone else. The flavor text: armor changes but Iron Man endures. Beautiful, beautiful. So the commander's plate is the Iron Man suit, and yes, it gets protection from a color that's not in your commander's color identity. From a flavor standpoint, I think this is cool because, you know, he's inventing, he's not tend to be inventing stuff to fight against himself. He's inventing to deal with other things that are not his color, I guess. Other than that, it's a 1 cost, so we can't really search it with Iron Man's ability unless we kill a 0 cost artifact, so that's a bit lame. But it is a very, very good card. You get a protection from a lot. I'm not going to say much else about Commander's Plate. It's a great little card. Next one is Soul Ring, and it is depicting his core reactor. Stunning. Okay, we know that Soul Ring is not a valuable card. It's in every bloody precon, but beautiful. This is just a home run. It just had to be done. And the good thing is, yes, you could just use this in any deck if you're not building an Iron Man deck. It's just nice to have this Marvel Iron Man Soul Ring. I built this arc reactor to save my life, but I intend to use it to save the world. Beautiful Tony Stark Iron Man. Beautiful quote. However, I think it would have been cool if it said, this is proof that Tony Stark has a heart. Like, that whole joke, like, I think that would have been another little nice flavor text, but I'm not going to get too upset about that because that's still a nice little quote there. Not much to say about Soul Ring. It's just, it's cool. It's an artifact, so it still even goes with the whole Iron Man thing. We all know Soul Ring is like the best card in Commander, so not going to say much else. Moving on. Next card is Inventor's Fair, which is where he's showing all of his new inventions. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more artifacts, you gain 1 life. You can tap it for a colorless, and then you can tap it to sacrifice Inventor's Fair with 4 mana as well. To search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Activate only if you control 3 or more artifacts, which is going to be easy to do in this deck. More tutoring, more artifact tutoring. So again, just finding that one card that you really, really need to suit your situation. Very, very, very nice card. Perfect for the... I just think Inventor's Fair was the perfect card for this whole Stark Expo thing. I think it's great. Very, very nice land to have. That's all there really is to say. Inventor's Fair is cool. I think it's a fairly expensive card. £8 again. You also need to bear in mind that a lot of the value of these cards have gone down since the reveal because people are not going to want to buy them if they're getting this because they're just going to wait and get this version of the card. So bear that in mind. All in all, absolutely love the Iron Man Secret Lair. The Commander's Plate really helps boost the value of this Secret Lair as well. This card is almost paying for the Secret Lair on its own, so the other stuff is just a nice little addition. But again, the main hero cards is the main selling point of these Secret Lairs. Right team, if you're still watching this video, then why not hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future Magic the Gathering videos. I'm super excited about all this Marvel shit, so I will be covering a lot more to come. So if you don't want to miss that, then hit that subscribe button. Cheers. Okay team, I'm having to refilm this part of the video because my mic was not turned on for these next 2 cards, so bear with me. Right, the next card we're going to be looking at is Storm, Force of Nature. Storm is 1 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 red. Now, do I agree with this color pairing? I'm a bit on the fence. I get why she's green because she is the force of nature. Okay, she's manipulating the weather. Blue-red makes sense completely with, you know, just the nature of her powers. The green was the only one I'm on the fence about, and her card, well, like the ability of what her card does, there's nothing green about it. They've just added it in there, I think, for the flavor standpoint because she is the force of nature, as it says in the card. So yeah, but that's all I'm going to say about that. Storm, Force of Nature is a legendary creature, mutant hero. We have the mutant creature type, very interesting. Would be very nice to see some mutant cares cards in the future, maybe with a future X-Men set. Hint, hint. Right, flying and vigilance. I get why she flies. It's Storm, of course she flies. And vigilance, yeah, Sure, we'll go with that. Cool. Ceaseless Tempest. Whenever Storm deals combat damage to a player, the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn has Storm. Storm, if you don't know, is one of Magic's most broken abilities they have ever made. Okay, so yeah, just be mindful of that. Mechanic, I should say, not ability. So what is Storm? When you cast it, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. Okay, so when you cast a spell, if you've cast a spell before it, you will get a copy. If you cast 2 spells before it, you get 2 copies. If you cast 3, and so on, so on, you get the picture. So you can imagine if you've got lots of cheap spells, this is going to get out of hand really quickly. And all you've got to do is deal combat damage with Storm. And that's not going to be very hard when Storm is flying. People are saying Storm Force of Nature is the best one out of all of them in terms of like playability wise. They're saying Storm is the most powerful, and I can definitely see why. In terms of the art is also stunning. She looks really cool, really menacing. She's got the white eyes. She's got this thunderous lightning cyclone behind her, and yeah, she looks like Storm. She looks awesome. Okay, yeah, that's all there is to say about Storm. Her flavor text: for me, there are no such things as limits. Yep, I can literally hear her saying that. Awesome. Right, next card, Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is a card that's been in Magic's history for years. It's been reprinted loads of times. We all know it. We all love it. It's 1 mana for 3 damage. Anywhere that can go to the face, that can go to a creature, all good stuff. Lightning Bolt is the perfect sort of card we are looking for to Storm. It's 1 mana, and it's always going to be useful, okay? So yeah, that's nice. The artwork on the card, Storm is rocking a mohawk. It looks like her apocalypse look, I'm going to say. The flavor text: the elements marshal their infinite might at my beckoning. Power sieves in the roiling clouds. Now at my command, strike. Not much else to say about Lightning Bolt. It's not a complex card. So it's, in terms of value, it's not the most valuable. I think maybe a couple dollars, maybe, if you're lucky. So this isn't going to be one of the most valuable cards, but it is still a very nice include. So this next card is an expensive one, and that is Storm's Will. And this is a renamed version of Jessica's Will. And if you don't know, Jessica's Will is a massive commander staple. You can run this in any red deck, okay? So, free cost card, 2 colorless, 1 red, so it's nice and cheap, helps with Storm. Sorcery, choose 1. If you control a commander as you cast this spell, you may choose both instead. So, very likely, you are going to be using both of these abilities. So, bear that in mind. Number 1. Add 1 red mana for each card in target opponent's hand. So as long as someone on your table has at least 3 cards in their hand, this spell is free if you have your commander. Already, that's nuts, okay? Now, likely, someone's going to have 7+ cards in their hand. So suddenly, you've got 4 mana to play with. Second one, exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. So exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. Essentially, this means we're drawing 3 cards. You have to play them now, but as long as you have enough mana, you play this late in the game where you've got a lot of mana. Also, bear in mind, if you Storm this, let's say someone has, say, 7+ cards in their hand, you get 7 mana, and you Storm this 3 times, suddenly you've got 14, 21 mana and 9 cards to choose from. Like, it is nuts. It is so nuts. And you're not paying that cost every time. You just get a copy of it. So you pay 3 mana to get this spell's ability 3 times. So this free cost card could give you 20+ mana and 9 cards. It's insane. The flavor text: Westchester County is now issuing an emergency tornado warning. The art actually looks a lot like Jessica's Will as well. And she's just there with like it's like a red tornado storm. This card is just insane, and it's a really nice reprint. If you don't know, this card goes for about £15, so that's around $20. So very nice value reprint in this Secret Lair. So yeah, that's really nice. Let's move on to the next card. Actually, no, I'm gonna have a sip of tea first in my Marvel mug. Should I just point out Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet here? Very nice. It's very big. I've even got some biscuits here. Lotus Biscoff. Oh, These are just heaven. Next card is Ice Storm. Now, this card is ancient, right? This card has never been reprinted since the first time it was ever printed, which was a long time ago. I can't tell you when, but if you look at the original art of this card, you can tell this is a bloody old card. So, Ice Storm, 2 colorless, 1 green. Another free cost sorcery. Quite simple to understand this one. Destroy target land. Okay, wizards, whatever you say. Nothing could survive in the wake of Storm's blizzard, not even the land itself. So, yeah, I think maybe they had this flavor text in mind. They just had to put this on a card, and they knew that they wanted land destruction. It just worked too well. I get that. So, fair play. We've got some other characters in the background as well in this one. Looks like Beast. I think Cyclops is there on the left. Is this Beast or is this Colossus? Oh, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Who are these mutants? Anyway, yeah. So the card's value, this is ridiculous. This is like a £50 card, right? So $50, $60. Once this is reprinted, I don't think it will hold the value because it's not expensive because the card is stupid broken and everyone wants it. Nobody likes land destruction. Spells like this where they just destroy 1 land is not so bad because I feel like they're good for destroying like those really pesky lands that are winning your opponents the game. Say a Rogue's Passage, for example. It's nice to have a little bit, just a little bit of land destruction, but you've put it in cards that have Storm, right? So the idea is that you want to get multiple copies of these spells. So is everybody gonna lose a land? Maybe if you just even it out and destroy 1 from each person, it's not so toxic. But yeah, you could really piss someone off if you just suddenly wreck 3 of their lands. Don't recommend you do that in a Commander game, okay? Unless they really annoyed you, then it could be quite funny. The card itself, the art is awesome, like really, really nice. I love how like you've got different kind of weather things going on in the cards. We've got lightning, then we've got a tornado, now we've got an ice storm. Storm's also wearing a different getup here, and that seems to be the theme in a lot of these. Like she's wearing something slightly different in all of them. She's got like a silver suit on here, so that's cool. Different hairstyles, yeah. It's nice little touch. But yeah, that's all for Ice Storm. So yeah, again, this is a stupidly value. So already we've got like £70 worth of value in this Secret Lair. Pretty insane. Right, next card, Aurora Borealis, which is renamed from Metamorphose. Okay, so this is a nice, easy to understand spell. It's a 2-cost spell, 1 colorless, 1 green, red. It's an instant spell. Add 2 mana in any combination of colors and draw a card. Very, very simple. And you've got to remember, the idea is to be storming this. So if we can get 3 copies, suddenly we add 6 mana, we draw 3 cards, suddenly this card is nuts. The value of this card currently is about £2, £2, okay, $3, whatever. It's not an expensive reprint. The art itself, again, we see Storm in a slightly different little getup here. She's got the white and the black with the gold gauntlets, a new weather condition. The Aurora lights she seems to be manipulating. Quite nice. The flavor text. The sky dances at her presence, cascading lights for the one who is closer to it than any other. Ah, isn't that beautiful? She can be beautiful and destructive. The perfect woman. Well, shout out to all the Storm Simps. Not much really else to say about this card. I just think, yeah, these all work well. We get basically a load of instants and sorceries that are going to trigger off Storm's ability. Again, another home run with this Secret Lair. I think the Storm is definitely a good one. In terms of strictly reprint value, this is also the most expensive, as well as people are saying the card herself is probably the most powerful one out of them all. So, right, moving on to our last card. And this is going to be a good one. We have the Wolverine. Okay, I'm super excited about this one. Wolverine, best there is. Yes, he is. Okay, 1 colorless, 1 red, 1 green. 3 cost for Wolverine. Nice and cheap. That is what we like to see. Legendary creature, Mutant Berserker hero. The art for Wolverine, he is in a snowy mountain, and no one else has pointed this out, but he is clearly here fighting Sabretooth or Victor, because you can see the claws, the nails on this hand. Yeah, so he's clearly fighting Sabretooth, I think. And he's got his adamantium claws in this one. He's got his yellow suit on. He's got some very veiny biceps in there, ladies. Look at that. Whoa, hunky man. Right, what does this card do? Unrivaled lethality. Double all damage Wolverine would deal. Okay, that's a nice, pretty nice thing to start with. So we already know he's going to be a fighty card, okay? At the beginning of each end step, if Wolverine dealt damage to another creature this turn, put a 1/1 counter on him. Again, encouraging you to fight. He wants to be dealt damage. He wants to fight other creatures because it makes him more powerful. His last ability, 1 colorless, 1 green to regenerate Wolverine. Of course, Wolverine is going to be getting regenerate. Having a mana cost, people are saying there are some people that don't like this. Would him just having regenerate without a cost, would that be too broken if he just couldn't die? You had to do other stuff to him, like exile him and that. Would that be too broken? I don't know. I think maybe they have done this just to try and keep the card a bit more fun and not like unfun. But from a flavor standpoint, you would never be in a position where you can't regenerate Wolverine. So, okay. So if you don't know what regenerate does, the next time he would be destroyed in this turn, instead tap him, remove him from combat, and heal all damage on him. So, yeah. He can't die, basically, if you pay this. Very nice. Very nice. He's a 2/2, but we know he's not going to stay a 2/2 for long. He's going to get bigger and bigger every time you fight. So if you're building a deck around this, this is going to be a very gruely, so red-green, fighty deck where you've got loads of spells that force your creatures to fight other creatures. You're just getting that in as much as you can, getting the counters on him, building to eventually attack your opponent directly with Wolverine, which you have double damage. So if you've got, say, even if Wolverine's a 5/5, now he's dealing 10 damage. And that's 10 commander damage if he's your commander. So it's not going to take long before a couple of direct hits with Wolverine and he's going to kill your opponent with commander damage. Very cool. Not much else to say about Wolverine. I think this is a great card. And I love the art and I love everything about it. Next card, Berserk. Look at the art on this card. You're going to notice a theme with this Secret Lair a lot. This has probably got the best art out of all of them for these cards. Look at him there. Woo! He is just ready to fuck someone up. Is he topless in this one as well? No, he's got like, well, it looks like he's got like yellow paint. I'm not sure if this is a suit. Anyway. Enough about Wolverine's glistening muscles. Well, that's going to be a common theme for this one as well, as you'll see soon. Got the nice shine of his adamantium claws here. Very cool. He's just burst out. He's cut some shit up. We can see some broken fiery wires in the background. Is he coming out of the mouth of a robot? Someone knows what this scene is? Let me know in the comments below. Berserk. What is Berserk? It's a 1 cost green mana. Instant. Cast this spell only before combat damage step. Target creature gains trample and gets +X/+0 until the end of the turn, where X is its power. So its power is going to double and have trample. At the beginning of the next end step, destroy that creature if it attacked this turn. Now for you keen-eyed people out there, Wolverine has regenerate, so as long as you have that 2 mana to pay, he isn't gonna die, he's just gonna tap. So you get this card without the drawbacks, okay? Excellent stuff. Getting Wolverine with trample is going to be one of your main win cons, so very nice to see that for such a cheap cost as well. Doubling your power and then already having double damage on Wolverine is just going to get out of hand. As if they have 1 mana up, 1 green mana, and he's attacking you directly and he's got a few counters, you better be bloody careful, because if they drop this Berserk, you are going to be dead. So, yeah. In terms of value for Berserk, I believe this is quite an expensive one. Yes, £17. So $20+ for Berserk. Next card is Rite of Passage. This is a 2 colorless, 1 green. It is featuring Wolverine and Laura. She's looking quite ferocious. She's got the same little getup as Wolverine. Didn't know she actually got this. I've only seen X-23 and Laura in the film, so she never actually gets this suit in the films. You've only actually just seen Wolverine with this suit. Enchantment spell. Whenever a creature you control is dealt damage, put a 1/1 counter on it. So this is essentially doubling Wolverine's ability. Whenever it's dealt damage, it gets a counter. So now instead of getting 1, it's going to get 2 counters. So yeah, it's just enabling what Wolverine is already doing, just making it better. Nice moves, Laura. Now let's have some real fun. Actually, let me read this in a Wolverine voice. Nice moves, Laura. Now let's have some real fun. Danger room, remove all safety protocols. That was my Wolverine. This is definitely my least favorite in terms of art. I'm not trying to hate on the artist or nothing. It's just so many hit and runs with these arts that, you know, one had to be the least. So this is definitely my least favorite. Sorry, Laura. How cool, though, would it be if we can get a really nice X-23 card? That would be awesome. Okay, so hopefully we get one of those. But, yeah, this is probably just the least inspiring one of them all. Pretty simple ability, but it definitely works with the Wolverine deck. No doubt you'll be running it. So, yeah, Rite of Passage is not an expensive card, I believe. Yep, just £1, $2, whatever it's going to be. So, that's all there is to really say about Rite of Passage. Next card. Rhythm of the Wild. We probably know what Rhythm of the Wild is. A very common Commander card. So really nice to see it being reprinted, even though it's not exactly the most highly valuable card. Rhythm of the Wild is 1 colorless, 1 red, 1 green. Now the art. This is probably my absolute favorite out of all of these Marvel Secret Lairs. This art on this card is without a doubt my favorite. I mean, look at this. First we've got Wolverine looking jacked to fuck. Like, he is absolutely whammalicious. You could grate cheese on those abs. And then to make that even better, we've got these howling, snarling wolves alongside him. Thank you, Wizards, for making, you know, a card that we've seen loads of times. We've seen the art 100 times. Give this new breath of life. Lovely stuff. Is an enchantment spell. Creature spells you control can't be countered. Non-token creatures you control have Riot. Now, it doesn't say what Riot does on here. Wonderful. But if you don't know what Riot does, it basically means your creatures will come in with rather a 1/1 counter or haste. You have to choose which one. So both are going to be nice, okay, because this is a counters deck, so another counter is going to be nice for Wolverine to come with, or having him haste to get him into combat earlier, as well as your other creatures, and that's going to really speed up the deck a lot. Flavor text: throughout his adventures with the X-Men, Logan regularly returned to run with his first true family. I'm in love with this card. I'm loving this card. I don't give a shit that Rhythm of Wild is only £1.50, $2, $3 card. I don't give a shit. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on Rhythm of Wild. Big fan. Let's move on. The last card we are going to be talking about is Adamantium Bonding Tank. Another home run in terms of art. Look at this. We see Wolverine in the tank with all the wires plugged into him. Got the screens showing the claws and his lungs and skeleton and all that shit. Very, very cool. Love, love, love this. This is the Ozolith renamed, basically. Okay. 1 colorless card, so nice and cheap. Legendary artifact. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on Adamantium Bonding Tank. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if Adamantium Bonding Tank has counters on it, you may move all those counters from it onto target creature. Now, this is a good card. From a flavor standpoint, I'm a bit lost. The counters, I assume, is meant to be representing the adamantium in the tank. Then you take the counters from the tank and put it onto a creature. Creatures dying, we know adamantium is found from the rocks on the earth. So why are they on creatures? I don't get it. If this was supposed to represent taking the mutations, what they did with how they made Deadpool, it would make sense, but as the adamantium bonding tank, it doesn't really make sense to me. That's just my opinion. If you have a better idea of what you think the reason behind this, why they chose the Ozolith as the perfect card for Adamantium Bonding Tank, let me know in the comments below, because I'm a little bit lost. In terms of the deck itself, this is going to work with the deck. We know that Rhythm of the Wild will be giving all of our other creatures. Rite of Passage will be giving our creatures counters as well. So we know that our creatures are going to have counters on them. And then by them dying, which they're going to be dying, because we're encouraged to fight with them, swing, 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 swing. And as long as we've got the Adamantium Bonding Tank, we don't have to worry, because it's going to collect all those counters and then put it onto our commander, so Wolverine can do even more damage with the damage doublers. And yeah, so in terms of the deck itself, I get it. It works really well. From a flavor standpoint, I'm a bit disappointed. Again, just my opinion. But yeah, the art is stunning. Love it. So yeah, that's all there really is to say about Adamantium Bonding Tank. Guys, that rounds up our 5 Secret Lairs. If you can't already tell, I am super excited for these Secret Lairs. But we need to address the elephant in the room, and that is the price of these Secret Lairs. They are selling for £40 for non-foil and £50 for rainbow foil, okay? That is more expensive than your regular Secret Lairs. Now, are we surprised? Come on, guys. This is the Marvel Secret Lair. They know that you guys out there are absolutely biting at the bit to get your hands on some Marvel cards. So, of course, they're going to jack up the price. They know you're going to pay it, okay? I'm going to pay it. You're going to pay it. Let's just not fuck about here, okay? There's going to be a huge demand, obviously. And we don't know how limited the supply is, but we do know that this Secret Lair is not going to be a print to demand. It's going to be once they're gone, they're gone. So if you want these cards, you need to be there, ready to buy them. I reckon that Wizards will print a lot of these. I mean, sure, they would be stupid not to, because they know the demand is there. For me personally, I am going to be picking up the Wolverine and Iron Man one for sure in that lovely rainbow foil. Cannot wait to get my hands on those. But guys, let me know your thoughts on these Marvel Secret Lairs. Do you like them? Are you going to be picking some up? Are you going to be building some decks around them? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get that hype up for this Marvel set. I know some people are pissed off about Marvel hitting Magic, but if you can't tell, I'm super excited. In the future, I'm going to be discussing the other news that we got about the Spider-Man set. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on that set with you guys, and maybe we can do some theory crafting about what we can see coming up. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all again very soon. Cheers.